Just a few days ago, Emily's kit got released in the 4.8 special program, and even if the character will be released in the second half of the version, I already know everything that you need to know about her, so enjoy the video. Okay, so starting from the basics, Emily is a polearm Dendro character that focuses on being a support slash sub DPS. She covers both of her roles very well, but the problem is that they are only available when it's about burning reactions. That is a problem, but I will talk about it later. For now, let's just cover how her kit works. So to start off, the basic attack doesn't do anything. That was pretty obvious, you don't see it do much most of the time. The skill is the core gameplay of Emily, and it may look a bit difficult at first, but it really isn't, so I'll just tell you everything about it. It places a case on the field that will last for quite some time and deals some Dendro damage the moment it's placed on the field. From there, it will start shooting some projectiles with time, and it's very similar to how Yaoyao works, except it's better because it doesn't waste time shooting you. Also, it has another very important gimmick, and it's that when you trigger a burning reaction, the case will take some scent from the enemy and will get one more stack. The moment it gets enough stacks, it will go from level 1 to level 2, and of course it will increase its properties. It's a very powerful skill, and it's a very good support, also because it deals quite a lot of damage, and it doesn't just trigger the Dendro reaction and nothing else. So using the burst will summon a case that is already level 3, and this can only be done if you have the burst. You can't go from level 2 to level 3 by using just the skill, it will not work of course. Also, if you use the burst while you have a level 2 case, it will not just make the case disappear, but it will just store it. So when the level 3 case finishes its duration, it will go away and will be replaced by a level 2 case, and the duration will be replenished, so you will basically have 2 cases that will last a long time just for the cost of one burst. So it's of course a very powerful burst because you have no idea how much damage and support that stuff could do. So it's definitely very powerful, and it's really what a Dendro team needs. We finally have a character that can apply Dendro in a very powerful way, so I'm very glad that we finally got the right Dendro support. Now let's cover the 2 most important passive talents, because the last one is gonna be useless as always. So the first one says that for each 2 cents the case collects, it will deal increased Dendro damage to opponents. This is very good and needed, because otherwise stacking up cents would be just useless. And the second one just says that she gets a Dendro damage bonus to enemies affected by burning, and for some reason it increases the elemental resistance to the burning condition, which is pretty stupid. It's like increasing the resistance against the Dendro cores. It's like, it's not needed. But the fact it deals increased Dendro damage and deals even more damage the more stacks you have is very good. Says once again that she's not only a support but also a sub DPS. This is very good. Having a support that deals this much damage is very needed, and that's it. Now we have to talk about the weapons though, because there is a bit of a problem with the weapons. So the best one is for sure the Luminous Elegy, which is gonna be the 5-star option for Emily. The problem is very simple, it's not free to play. If you're just a free to play like me, it's not gonna be easy to obtain it. So instead of that, you can use the Missive Wind Spear, a spear that unfortunately has a problem. It's not a spear that you can currently get. You could only get it in the version 3.1. So good luck getting it now. That is the main problem. It's very good because every time an elemental reaction is triggered, your attack and elemental mastery will be increased by a lot, so it's beautiful for a character that constantly triggers reactions off field. And the last option would be the Calamity Queller. It's very powerful because it increases your attack after using an elemental skill and doubles it if your character is off field. So it's very powerful, but unfortunately it's a 5-star. So now you see the problem. The only options you have for now that are very good are 2 5-stars and 1 that can't even be obtained right now. So if you're someone who started playing at like 3.1 or before that, then you should be fine, but if you played after the 3.1 version, this is starting to be a problem. But I'm sure you could find a good replacement, like she doesn't have to be 100% powerful, but still it keeps being very annoying. And now it's time to talk about about the artifacts. So the best set by far is Unfinished Reverie. It's a set that got released in 4.6, so it's not anything new, and when it's at 4 pieces, it basically increases the damage dealt by 50% when you leave combat, so it's perfect for her. And when there are burning opponents, the damage will be increased until it reaches another 50%, so it's very good. It basically makes Emily even stronger, and this set looks way too good for Emily. I am pretty sure they already knew what they were gonna do with Emily and just released the set in advance. So it's a very powerful one, but if you don't wanna farm for it, you can just put some golden troop, because it increases the elemental skill damage, and when it's at 4 pieces it will increase the elemental skill damage by another 25%, and when you're not on the field it will be increased by another 25%. So it's very powerful, it's crazy how strong it is, but if you still don't have 4 pieces, just go 2 pieces Gladiator, 2 pieces Golden Troop, and you are done. As for the stats, the Sand should be attack percent, the Goblet Dendro damage bonus, and the Circlet either crit rate or crit damage. So she has to be a very powerful sub DPS, so don't think of her as like a elemental mastery or energy recharge character, you just need to cash out on the damage. So Sand's attack, Goblet Dendro damage, and Circlet crit. As for the substats, just go for crit, attack, and lastly energy recharge. For the teams I was thinking of something like Gaming, Bennett, Emily, and Nahida. The reason is very simple, it's gonna be like buffing Gaming over the edge. It's gonna be very powerful, I believe, because Bennett gives him a huge attack buff, Nahida increases the amount of Dendro application on the field, Emily just does her job, and Gaming is very good at applying a lot of pyro on the field, so that seems very good. It will just do a lot of damage mixed with the Dendro damage that Emily can deal. Another good team is very similar, it's basically identical, but just put Arlecchino instead of Gaming. It's gonna be pretty expensive because 3 5-stars are a lot, but it seems very good. Just it may be a bit expensive because 3 characters that are 5 stars are expensive, but it seems very good. Just do a lot of damage, Arlecchino is very good at dealing damage and also applying pyro, and Emily will be a very powerful sub DPS and will also do some burning. And honestly, you can put the majority of pyro characters instead of Arlecchino. So my final thoughts for Emily are very simple. I believe that she's a very good and powerful support and sub DPS. Like, I have waited so long for a powerful and strong Dendro support, apart from like Nahida, but what bothers me the most is that she's not made for a normal team. She's forced to be played in a burning team. It's very boring, it's like Nilo. I hate Nilo because she's made to only appear in one team, and that is very annoying. I like characters that can do a lot of stuff and can have additional gimmicks. Like, she could be very powerful and also get bonus damage if splashed into a burning team. That will be nice, but this one is just very annoying because you can only put her in a burning team. But apart from that, I'm glad that burning finally does something, because there are many reactions in this game that were pretty much useless, and the question is the same: should you pull for Emily? I don't know. I honestly don't know, because if you wanna play her in a good team, you won't just be having Emily as your 5-star. You will also need Nahida and most likely a 5-star pyro character. So, I mean, you can still play Gaming, as I said before, you can even play Zhangling, but if you really want big juicy damage, then you will also need another 5-star. So, she's made for very expensive teams, and I don't think that you should go for that, but if you really like the playstyle and you already have the characters, then go for it. She seems very beautiful, she's very powerful, very effective, she's both of a support and sub DPS, and the passive talents are very good and very effective. So that's it for the video. Bye!